$161,500 versus $4. This is the story of swimming pools in America and Korea. What thoughts come to mind when you see these numbers? This is precisely Pool Corporation, which Warren Buffett newly invested in during 2024, the world's largest swimming pool equipment distributor that represents how massive the swimming pool industry is in America. But there's a truly surprising paradox hidden here. The bizarre situation is unfolding where people spend as much as $161,500 to build private swimming pools, but can't even use them properly. In fact, surveys show that many Americans regret purchasing homes with swimming pools. To understand Warren Buffett's choice, we need to know the reality of the American swimming pool industry. Pool Corporation is a company established in 1993, currently ranking 577th in the Fortune 500 as a stable enterprise. This company operates 410 retail locations across America and serves 120,000 customers annually. What's even more surprising is that 60% of this company's revenue comes from repair and maintenance services. They're generating enormous profits just from managing existing swimming pools, not from installing new ones. In America, depending on the region, homes with swimming pools cost significantly more than those without, typically ranging from $77,000 to $231,000 more on average. But that's not the end of it. Installing a single swimming pool costs at least $24,000 to $46,000, and annual maintenance fees range from $2,300 to $4,600. That's truly enormous money. What's even more surprising is that these swimming pools aren't being utilized properly. An American resident calculated over 2 years and found maintenance costs averaged about $77 per month. Including electricity bills, this goes up to $154 to $231 per month. Looking at America as a whole, according to Pool and Hot Tub Alliance data, there are approximately 10.7 million private swimming pools. Of these, 10.4 million are residential private pools and 309,000 are public pools. However, new swimming pool construction has significantly decreased recently due to difficult economic conditions and high interest rates. Why is this happening? It's because of the economic burden. Home prices are rising, but managing a swimming pool on top of that is too burdensome. Additionally, the usable period is getting shorter due to climate change. Even in California, preference for swimming pools has declined in recent years, and in the eastern regions, evaluations show that swimming pools have become burdens due to management and responsibility issues, negatively affecting home sales. What's more interesting is that the global swimming pool market itself continues to grow. As of 2023, the worldwide swimming pool and spa market exceeded $20 billion and is expected to grow at an average annual rate of 7.5% from 2024 to 2032. However, the main drivers of this growth aren't private swimming pools, but technological innovations like smart automation systems, energy efficiency, and water conservation solutions. This means Americans are now looking for smarter and more efficient methods rather than simply owning swimming pools. A place that's in complete contrast to this American situation is Korea. How do Koreans use swimming pools? Let's start with public swimming pools. The 2024 Han River swimming pool entrance fee is $5,001 for adults. Converting to US dollars, that's roughly $4. $161,500 versus $4. Isn't this difference truly shocking? But Korea has even an amazing system than this. About 52% of the Korean population lives in apartment complexes, which is a residential style that's hard for Americans to imagine. In Korea, according to the Collective Housing Management Act, apartment complexes with 300 or more units are legally required to install community facilities. Even for 150 units or more, if there are elevators or central heating systems, they become subject to mandatory management requirements. Swimming pools are included in these facilities. While swimming pools aren't mandatory installations in community centers, various shared facilities must be installed. For example, the most commonly built facilities include fitness centers and screen golf facilities. Looking at Korea's facility installation standards, they're truly systematic. For 100 to less than 1,000 units, 27 square feet per unit must be provided, and for 1,000 or more units, 5,400 square feet plus 22 square feet of residential community facilities must be installed. From 150 units, senior centers and children's playgrounds, from 300 units, daycares, and from 500 or more units, resident exercise facilities and small libraries must be additionally installed. Because of these legal obligations, Korean apartments naturally come equipped with various community facilities, including swimming pools. Actually listening to residents living in apartments with swimming pools reveals a completely different world from America. 20 free uses per household per month is common, and even if you use more than that, you only pay about 77 cents to $1.50 per use. Compared to America's monthly $77 to $154 maintenance fees, it's truly heaven. A resident of a 460-unit apartment says community management fees are only about $54 per month, and this isn't just for the swimming pool, but includes all facilities like fitness centers, saunas, golf driving ranges, and everything else. In the case of large apartment complexes with 3,400 units, they have 3-lane swimming pools with various auxiliary facilities, but the community management fee per household is only about $54 per month. What's even more surprising is the usage rate. In America, many private swimming pools aren't used properly, as we mentioned, but Korean apartment swimming pools are in a completely different situation. Swimming lessons and aqua aerobics programs run continuously from early morning to night, and residents actively use the facilities during free swimming hours. Some apartments have such high usage rates that one of the 4 lanes must always be kept available for free swimming. There are many residents who swim well and enjoy it without swimming lessons, so the pools operate consistently well. Some neighboring apartments even close their pools due to low usage rates, showing how differences in usage determine the success or failure of pool operations. Looking at the history of Korean apartments shows how this community culture developed. Apartment communities began to be introduced in earnest from the 1990s, and when Tower Palace in Dogok-dong, Seoul was built in 2002, it set new standards for luxury community facilities. This apartment, which included fitness clubs, golf driving ranges, and swimming pools, became very popular as it coincided with the wellness boom of the time. And competition between apartment brands to expand communities began in earnest afterward. After the 2010s, new concept communities utilizing information and communication technology began to emerge. Speaking of Korean apartment complexes, they're essentially like self-sufficient mini-cities. Not only swimming pools, but also fitness centers, saunas, golf driving ranges, libraries, cafes, kids' rooms, and even movie theaters. All facilities are concentrated in one place. It's a system where everything Americans try to own individually is owned and used collectively. This is the core of the Korean-style solution. Conversely, this shows how burdensome the maintenance costs of private pools in America are. Warren Buffett's investment in Pool Corporation is precisely because of the American swimming pool industry structure. America's swimming pool-related equipment and supplies market has no choice but to keep growing. Pool Corporation's revenue, being 60% maintenance-related sales, represents the characteristic of the American individual ownership system. It's a structure where money must continuously go in. With 10.7 million private swimming pools, each needing to buy pumps, filters, and chemicals, an enormous market is formed. But Warren Buffett's investment actually reflects the difficulties of the American swimming pool market. Demand for new swimming pool construction has significantly decreased recently due to economic difficulties. Home prices are rising, but managing swimming pools on top of that is too burdensome. Additionally, the usable period is getting shorter due to climate change. Even in California, preference for swimming pools has declined in recent years, and in the eastern regions, evaluations show that swimming pools have become burdens due to management and responsibility issues, negatively affecting home sales. This difference isn't limited to swimming pools alone. In America, people often pay over $77 per month individually for gym memberships, but in Korean apartment complexes, you can use fitness centers along with swimming pools for free or cheaply. The same goes for golf driving ranges, libraries, and cafe facilities. Everything Americans have to solve individually is being solved collectively in Korea.
Actually, Korean apartment resident satisfaction levels are extremely high. You can go to the swimming pool anytime in slippers and sweatpants, and children's swimming lessons can be received cheaply within the complex, maximizing convenience. Unlike America, where you have to drive far to swimming pools or install pools at home, you can save both time and money simultaneously. One resident said, "If you think of it as an additional amount in management fees, it seems wasteful. But since you'd spend money just using a gym for 1 month, I don't think it's a loss." I also use the apartment fitness center, using it occasionally for a little over $15 per month. Although there are many cases where I can't use it frequently due to schedule and circumstances, it's not a burdensome price, so I continue using it. What's interesting is that some American cities have recently shown interest in this Korean-style system. Since the economic burden of private swimming pools is too great, policies are changing toward increasing public or community swimming pools. Actually, the Bora 3170, a Korean-style apartment built by Buyong Construction in LA's Koreatown, is very popular locally. It's a 252-unit complex from basement level 1 to 8th floor, equipped with screen golf facilities, fitness centers, and various community facilities. But even with a monthly rent of $3,500, people are lining up to move in. Looking at this apartment's characteristics shows the advantages of Korean apartments intact. The flooring uses Korean-style wood panels, clearly different from America's carpet-focused housing, and premium built-in systems, double insulation windows, and storage spaces are things you can't find in other local apartments. Particularly in community facilities, events where residents are invited to share food and create conversation opportunities are held regularly, allowing people to feel Korean warmth. This is the K apartment culture that Americans are newly paying attention to. But changing urban structures already formed around individual ownership isn't easy. Particularly in California, preference for swimming pools has declined in recent years. In eastern regions, evaluations show that swimming pools have become burdens due to management and responsibility issues, negatively affecting home sales. The reason Americans spend $161,500 to build swimming pools but can't use them properly isn't simply due to management difficulties. For them, ownership itself is a value, and even if they don't use it, just having my pool in my house provides satisfaction due to their cultural background. Having a TV in every room, even if rarely used, is in some ways an aspect of individual ownership culture that's hard to understand in Korea.